What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with a huge haul video from mycomicshop.com. That's right, these all came from mycomicbookshop.com, and a big order that I'm going to tell you all about and show you these books. But before we get into it, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you haven't already, hit the bell notification so that when videos like this drop ever so randomly, you can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or to watch it later. But as long as you watch it, we appreciate you. Now, if you want to see what I picked up, stay tuned for the video. So I got a huge order in from mycomicshop.com. That's right, from Texas. I'm not sure if they have their physical stores like they used to anymore, but they're a huge online supplier of comics. You can order their stuff off of eBay, but they, I think, give better prices, and it's a lot easier to shop one provider by going to their website and ordering all things together, save on shipping, you know, that type of thing that you can't really do or is not easy to do on eBay. So I think they save some money putting it through their website as opposed to eBay, and so you kind of get a better price. Having said that, I've ordered from them before my Foom 2, which is first appearance of the Hulk. No, first appearance of Wolverine, but it's got the Hulk on the front cover. And my Foom 10, which is the first appearance of the new X-Men before Giant Size X-Men came out, just as an aside. So I've ordered some stuff from them before and generally have been pleased. Well, when I went to order this stuff, there was nothing in my cart. I had previously gone online, looked at a couple things, got distracted, put off buying some stuff, and so ended up coming back thinking that the cart would still be full. It was not, so I just started ordering again. Well, it's on me, it's not really on them, but I wasn't paying attention to the fact that when I got ready to check out and pay for it, it was significantly more expensive than what it should have been. And I got to looking at it and noticing that, wait a minute, I've already got that book. I got it somewhere else, and realized that initially the books weren't in there, but then the books were in there at the time that I actually checked out. How that happened, who knows, I don't care. So I contacted them fairly quickly about being able to change my order. You know, there was a couple of books. I won't most of the books. There was just a handful that I really didn't want because I've already bought them somewhere else. They said, well, hey, we can't do it because it's kind of a streamlined type process, but we can cancel the order for you, which I did. The only bad thing about it is because some of these books were kind of rare in the sense that they didn't have a lot of them in stock, and understandably so. There's not a huge market for it probably. When I went to reorder them, they didn't have them in stock. I've since checked the website today; they're actually in stock, so they've kind of updated their stuff since then. So I ordered these things on Tuesday. Or Monday night. Tuesday, I get a confirmation that things are being mailed out, and then today I get my comic books. Now, they are in Texas, and I'm in Mississippi, so it's not a far cry, but with the way the postal system's been, I don't know if that's why they did it, but it actually went through UPS as opposed to USPS, which they typically do, and I didn't pay any upgrading in shipping, so I don't know how that worked out. Maybe they just ship it as long as it's in the price. I don't know. But I got my books rather fast, so I'm a fairly happy customer. So I will say that I have been on a Valiant comic kick. I know some of you are going to give me, the no likes and move on to the next video as I say that. But I don't know if it was talking with Justin from Collecting Valiant. If you haven't seen that video, check that video out. I did it last week. And so talked about collections and Valiant and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be doing some more interviews with various collectors that I might can add myself and them actually add value to people that are not familiar with said objects. Valiant obviously being one of them. Turtles or Batman, things that I know something about. You know, it wouldn't be good for me to try to have a deep conversation about, say, Iron Man because I'm not well versed in it, as an example. So we'll see how that goes. And so be sure to hit that bell notification so you know. And if you hadn't already, I forgive you, but go ahead and smash that like button to help us with the YouTube algorithm. So let's get into the books. Now, this one book, since I already have it, I'm going to go ahead and show it. I did not get it from mycomicshop.com. I got it off of an Instagram live sale from Elvine's Comics. Christian over there is a huge Valiant fan. Just happened to throw this book up there. If you're a kid of the 90s or the 80s, you remember this as being the Mario of Super Mario 3. And of course, that is the comic here. And it is a newsstand comic. And these were what Valiant first came out with as getting into the comics before they started the superhero universe. I also won this right here, A Man-Thing #1. Hey. So pretty cool there. So let's get into the mycomicshop.com books. And these are probably not going to be in any order. As long as they're all here and they're in the shape that they're in. We're supposed to be in. Typically, mycomicshop.com will overgrade things or undergrade, whichever way you want to look at it. But they harsher grade the comics. So if you get a very fine, it might be a near mint type deal. So this is Magnus the Robot Fighter #1 from the Acclaim run of that. And so it is a sideways cover. You don't see these all the time. I don't necessarily care for them because if you want to display them, it's whatever. But this is more of the painted cover. They have another option, but I decided to go with the painted cover on that. Then we got Exo Manowar 23. This is from the next to the most recent series of Exo. This is the Exo done by Matt Kent. And check out that reflection cover, Steven Spock, if you're watching. Check that out. Check that out. And then we've got Archer and Armstrong 22. Some zaniness from Valiant Comics there. Archer and Armstrong 23. This is the Minecraft copy. They did all the ones like this around that time, same time with Valiant. Then we've got Exo Manowar 12. Turok the Dinosaur Hunter #21. That's a Howard Simpson cover there. Harbinger #10. This is a Miko Suan cover. It's a connecting cover. I had the other ones. I was just missing this one. So that's pretty cool. Exo Manowar #26. Solar Man of the Atom 57. I believe that's a Mike Manley cover. Talking about SPAC of recent year. Mike Manley, I believe, is the guy that created Darkhawk. So there you go. Then we got Solar Man of the Atom #58. Same there. And then Solar Man of the Atom 56. These were the last three I needed to complete that Solar Man of the Atom Volume 1 from Valiant Comics. So now complete. The circle is now complete. We got issue 25 from Exo. Then we've got Archer and Armstrong #11. And if you're a certain age, this looks like a Zoom call. If you're a little older, this makes you have a theme song go off in your head. And that's the way we became. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Then we've got Harbinger. This is a one-shot, Acts of God. This is a one-shot. So this is the Harbinger kids, and this is like the last-ditch effort for them to use the Harbinger stuff before Acclaim went out, because this was in '98. Exo Manowar #24. Then we got Turok Red Path. Fabian Nicieza, which is better known for his X-Men work, in particular Deadpool. But he did a lot of these Turoks, and these were one-shots. And so there were one-shots, and some of them are pretty hard to get. Don't remember if that's one of the ones that's kind of hard to get. Then we got Harbinger Wars, the sketchbook. I couldn't remember if I had this one or not. I know I have one sketchbook. I don't have this one, so that's good. But it is really just a previews of the comics, and so pretty cool. I don't know if there's any first appearances that other people might not call first appearance type thing in there, but in good shape for a little black cover, a little flimsy black cover like that. Then we've got Archer and Armstrong number 10, the B cover, and then this is of course an homage to Donkey Kong. Really dig these. Got Armstrong passed out down there. Then Archer and Armstrong number 12. The Valiant Voice number 1. Now some of these, especially the last issue, is pretty hard to come by. The ironic thing was they had all or almost all of the Valiant Voices that I ordered, but remember I told you that the when I went to redo the order, because they had not restocked it yet, some were not available, and so I had to go with what I could get. But I've been looking back today, noticed that there was one Turok from the Gold Key era that I had wanted, and it was backlisted again. So I'm going to have to go back in there and see about reordering some more. But that's the Valiant Voice. And so the Valiant Voice, you see there's a 25-cent cover price, but basically it's just a previews, and they're done on these newspapers like so, newspaper prints, and they open it up just like a newspaper. So if you're kind of a Valiant completionist of sorts, this is definitely something that you want to pick up. Some really cool stuff. That's Magnus the Robot Fighter 25. It's a Bob Layton cover. It's a silver cover. You got some Barry Windsor Smith art in here. So pretty cool. That's a Joe Quesada cover right there. Says what's coming out, or what was coming out that month. Then I've got Valiant Voice number 4. This is the cover of Secret Weapons 3. Yeah. Then we've got Archer and Armstrong number 15. Armorines. This is from the Acclaim run. This is issue number 1. If you've seen my recent haul in Missouri, my Black Friday pickups, you notice I picked up out of the dollar bin number 3. So these weren't really well printed. Number 4 is kind of a ghost. You can find them, but they're pretty expensive. And like this one right here, they graded it as a fine, and I see why. It's got his spine ticked to death right there. So then we got Archer and Armstrong number 1, the dollar debut. I don't remember getting the dollar debut. That's a Miko Sion cover right there. Archer and Armstrong number 9, pretty cool. Got the Eternal Warrior on there, which for those of you who don't know, the Eternal Warrior is Armstrong's brother. There's one like in every family, right? The guy that never owns up to anything, and then they got the one that takes care of everything, and that's kind of the dynamic those two have. They also have the third brother, Ivar, which is the Time Walker. Valiant Voice number 5, and of course this is talking about Deathmate, which was the crossover between Image and Valiant. Pretty cool. Archer and Armstrong number 14. This is the Street Fighter or video game homage. So I really dig those. So if I had a choice, I'd pick those out. Revelations. This is a one-shot Solar Man of the Atom right there. And this is when Acclaim had already taken him over. Jim Kruger, you might recognize that name from writing the Universe X, Marvel X stuff. Alex Ross did the art. Really nice guy. Then we got Magnus the Robot Fighter number 12. This is from the Acclaim series. I have all of the Valiant series already. Exo Men of War number 22. This was not my original cover. It's a pretty cool cover, but it wasn't the one I originally wanted, so settled for it. So for all of you people who might not be just salivating over this Valiant stuff like I am right now, we've got X-Men Legacy Annual number 1. So if you count X-Men 1 that started with Jim Lee as X-Men Volume 1, that ended and then they rebooted. They started another series at Series 1. Then they came back with the Legacy numbering, but it was also called X-Men Legacy and started back where that one picked off. So I have all of Uncanny X-Men, obviously, is the main title, volumes 1 through 5, and the annuals. X-Men is a single titled comic. I have all, let's see, Volume 1 is the Jim Lee. Volume 2 starts with the vampire stuff. Then you have Volume 3 is the Brian Michael Bendis. And number 4 is the what I call the X-Ladies. And 5 is the current title. Okay, so if you count X-Men Legacy. So I have all of those too. So I had to give X-Men Legacy, besides the killer art, Mark Brooks, Miko Suon, and others just killed it on those covers, especially like the road covers. And I wanted to get the Legacy annual. This was the only one that there was, and so I picked it up. And so now I have not only the Legacy, but I also have the annual. Then we've got back to Valiant, Acclaim, Turok, Spring Break, and The Lost Land. Again, Fabian Nicieza did that one. And they were trying to build hype around the video game. So if you remember the Nintendo 64, that was one of the video games. And it was like a Doom type game where Turok hunted the dinosaurs. And so they were trying to build hype around that. Valiant Voice, number 3, talking about the Exo trade paperback that came out, which I've got a copy of, so that's pretty cool. Archer and Armstrong, number 2. Then we got Wrath of the Eternal Warrior, number 13, leaving a trail of blood in his wake, as he is known to do. Then we got Archer and Armstrong, talking about Archer, baby Archer. That's 0. Archer and Armstrong, number 17. So I've got the whole series now. I only had a few in the first place. I was able to pick up all these for $2 a piece. Issue 16. Solar, Man of the Atom, number 2 of 4. And Christopher Priest done that, and it seems to me like Christopher Priest renamed himself. He changed his name, and it seems like he done some of the Black Panther stuff. If you know what I'm talking about or can correct me, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Then we got Magnus the Robot Fighter, number 17. Magnus getting his Mac on. You caught that, right? That's the part of that dad joke. Then we got Archer and Armstrong, number 13. Wrath of the Eternal Warrior, number 12. It's only needed like 3 of the Wrath of the Eternal Warrior, and so I got all of them. I think that might be one of the ones I missed out on because of the whole deal I mentioned earlier. Cable, number 4. So this went for several issues and this time, and then reverted back to the Legacy numbers before being canceled. And then the current series of Cable is, of course, the Kid Cable. So if you count the John Romita 2 series, 2-part series as Volume 1, the Art Thebear is Volume 2. The other stuff is Volume 3. This would be Volume 4. How about that? So that's the only one I needed to complete that set. So that is now completed. Magnus the Robot Fighter, number 13 of that Acclaim run. Number 15 of that same run. Then we've got Archer and Armstrong, number 3. We've got Wizard Special Edition, the beginning of the Valiant era. And so this one is still sealed in the poly bag, which I'm going to take it out. So there's a card in the back here, and then there is a bookmark. Casada did that, and then there's the Secrets of the Valiant Universe comic book back here. Now, I have a copy of this. I picked it up on Black Friday, The Secrets of the Valiant Universe. I think that's where I picked it up at. Yeah. But I was thinking on this one that this might have the wizard foil on it, and I couldn't remember if it would. This has the wizard deal on the deal. So on these wizard comics, I don't really collect the wizards. But if it's a cover, I've got the one with XO on the front of it. I've got the one with the 30th anniversary of the X-Men. And I got the one with Doomsday because it was him and Superman were fighting and it was foil. It's kind of cool. But if it's one that really speaks to me, this is the start of Key Collector, right? Because before this, at least in my estimation, you had Overstreet, sure enough, but it just didn't seem to me like the hype train didn't happen until Wizard came out. And Wizard, of course, hyped up Image, hyped up Valiant in particular, and all these comics just shot up in value. And as soon as all that went away, Wizard stayed around, but it kind of rocked itself into irrelevance, and it's gone today. So, Turok number 44. I think I got the last issues of that volume 1 of Turok, but I can't remember. Archer and Armstrong number 7. Harbinger number 2. Archer and Armstrong number 0. Of course, those are the three brothers I mentioned. Armstrong, Ivar, the Time Walker, and Eternal Warrior. Harbinger number 6. That's a Miko cover as well. Then we got Turok, Child of Blood. Another one of those one-shots. Harbinger number 4. I've got the whole set of these, I believe. This is from the 2012 reboot. Then we've got Magnus the Robot Fighter, number 18. It says, "Here's to a happy ending, folks." Kind of your first clue that that's the last issue. And then we've got Turok, Tales of the Lost Land. So you've seen a lot of those one-shots there. And don't recognize the artist. And there we go. And so that's it, folks. But hey, that is enough. But all of those comics right there cost me a little over $8 to ship. So you can't beat that, especially when it's coming essentially 2-day from UPS. I mean, and it actually gets here on time. They get packaged really well. You know, you saw them in their plastic containings there, but then you have these little foam things that keep the bends from happening. I mean, they filled the order fast. They were really on their game. Now, I have ordered from them before, and it took a little longer to get, but in tracking the packages, they went all wonky, if that's a word. If it ain't, it is now. But so it's really not their fault. So highly recommend mycomicshop.com. Now, for filler issues, I have noticed, and if you see something different, leave me a comment down below. Now, they are pretty much at fair market value or higher on their stuff, which if you're okay with paying fair market value for a hot book, then that's fine, because as I mentioned earlier, they toughly grade their books. And so you're at fair market value of a 6, and it's really a 6.5 or 7. You're still got a little wiggle room there if you just try to sell it or something. So I don't typically pick up the big books, although I have picked up the Foom 2 and 10, as I mentioned earlier. But I certainly get run fillers, and especially like with some that are really hard to find, or I needed just a handful to finish a run. I just went ahead and picked them up, and I already built a box, and so it was like $8. And I'm like, hey, you can't beat that. So I'm gonna have to go back on there and get those other ones that they had re-put on there. But I do appreciate them for taking care of the packaging and doing it well. I wish all people and companies would do that. But if you like this video, or even if you don't like this video, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell notification. By the time this video airs, I will already have done the 600 subscriber giveaway of the New Mutants 98 and have already announced what the next giveaway is going to be. However, go back and watch that video so that you know what it was and how you can enter to win that book. Do appreciate it as always for y'all watching my content. Hopefully everybody's staying safe out there, getting to read some good books. Stay safe, love your family, read some good books. Until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.